I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. We are moments away from what should be an excellent matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, some of those in the silver-haired community would say it's a great day for golf, and it is, don't get me wrong, but we say it's a great day for football, and the roof is wide open here in Glendale at State Farm Stadium. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They will be led out by the Heisman Trophy winner from 2018, drafted #1 overall the subsequent year, Kyler Murray.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately, 1 touchdown pass. Doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Here now the starters defensively for the Vikings. They were very good last week in the win over the Saints.
Held them well under 200 yards of total offense. In today's NFL, that's a feat to be proud of, especially with the emphasis on offense and what we're seeing each and every week.
Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. He's got a man. It's Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big 3rd down pickup of 20 yards. Play fake. Murray. That's caught by Kelly. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, he couldn't turn it into much more.
Now this throw caught left side. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 32-yard line. Murray going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. And opening there on that 1st down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed. But they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. The rushing numbers for Fournette from last week, 18 carries, 84 yards.
In a perfect world, they'd run the ball the same way they did last week, but against the #1 rush defense in the league, they have to find a different way to move the ball. Maybe they start throwing it early and come back to the run.
A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd and 2, Murray, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
Used to have a coach used to tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs.
And he's going to be taken down down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Seibert able to knock this one through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. They moved the ball pretty well there on the opening drive. You think they're okay settling for 3?
I don't think they're happy about settling for 3, but I think you're exactly right with the word okay, because they threw it well, they ran it well. Excellent balance for the first drive of the game.
That's fielded in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30.
Sack, baby! Sack!
Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
Call it a gain of 3, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Well, that's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. Made us first. This now from 46 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
No, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Set, 15, got it, 59. Let's go, you tighten up.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley, able to slither by, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. He finds an opening past the 40. He'll get this out to Barkley complete. And all the way up to the 45-yard line. 17 yards, first down, Vikings.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. But anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen, because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside, and this is what we saw there. A nice pickup for a first down.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
6-0 our score after 1. Now back to throw. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 31-yard line.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one. And that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. No gain on the screen there. It's second down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man has got it. It's complete. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. They'll try and run for it with Barkley. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley. Touchdown number 15 of the year. As his guys can now take the lead with the extra point.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right? If
they're smart, they do.
And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. So back even at 6 apiece as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Here we go.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended on the outside of the playoff picture looking in, so a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know, we know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now Leonard Fournette. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down is Murray. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Gets around it. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. They get 14 there. First down, Vikings.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They run. Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Barkley. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
8C.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. Was that 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Adam Thielen with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Now the try here for the extra point. And he atones for his miss the first time around, as this one is up and good to extend their lead. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it's polished off by a Viking score. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now
now Murray has it stripped. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 27 yards there, a first down. They'll drop the throw. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
On 4th down, here's Matt Bosher on to punt. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far here in the 2nd quarter. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. 2nd and 4. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
They'll set up a throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. He was looking for Chris Godwin that time, but it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. 2nd and 10. Being chased out left. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. The line of scrimmage is the 2 here on 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Saquon Barkley as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. See, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. So we have come to halftime and what's already a 2-touchdown. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get... back to it. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've got the lead right now as they start this drive 1st and 10. Of course, remember they beat the Saints a week ago, so some good momentum rolling right now. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 32-yard line. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. Just they move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
They'll run with Cook. A A pickup of 4 on first down. It'll be second and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. And Barkley will try to punch it in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 3 here in this game and 17 now on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Marching back out there, ready for the next possession. Here comes the Vikings defense. And we watch now. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing, and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Now third down is looming, a pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. Not the start to the drive they were looking for. That run doesn't do much at all.
No, not at all, and it leaves them with 3rd and long. And you know, this is the time of game where these drives really start to matter. They've got to make some moves.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll look to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hughes. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
I tell you, Brandon, it seems like this guy's been all over the field so far. That's his 2nd interception of the game. And so much of playing defense in the NFL, especially when it comes to defending the pass, is all about positioning and technique. And this is fantastic work on both fronts there.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Barkley. Oh, he's got some breathing room.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
And instead of the first, they'll have to go backwards for another 2nd down try.
So if there is a silver lining, though, it stays 2nd down, and they still have an opportunity to pick up a first down before they have to start their downs over again.
We ain't giving them nothing to do.
Back to throw now on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, but it's going to be 2nd down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll set up to throw. It's caught. Smith. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Herb Smith Jr., his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
Ready. 60 Pittsburgh. Check up. Big grip.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk at a 45. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Cardinal first down on a gain of 13.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They run once more with Henderson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd down and 12.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his 3rd down play as we played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready.
Back to throw here. He's got his man. It's Williams. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the 1st down.
This quarterback now just 2 out of 6 since coming on, but he's got a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. He'll find Henderson there. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. 2nd down, it's Henderson. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. A solid pickup at 13 sets him up 1st and goal. They held him in check in the first half, but that's his longest carry of the game right there.
So would this be the definition of fresh legs since he didn't get much done in the first half? Now he has a great opportunity. He's taking full advantage of it.
On the set. 57. We go. Check 37. Check 37.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but now it's 3rd and goal. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface.
And it'll be intercepted. Read it well, and it's picked. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead will swell by one more. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get set up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think you saw the same thing that I did there, partner. Remember, he's their backup quarterback, so the last thing they need is to lose another one right here on the sack. Looks like he's going to be okay, though.
Yeah, he looked like he was favoring something in the left leg. Appears to be fine now, but you're right. That O-line, they got to protect it. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held the team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. 50 catches for him now on the year, and he's got a first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Got this complete to the rookie out of UMass, Andy Isabella. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That one, a first down pickup of 8. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now back to throw. This one caught by Isabella. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Murray's throw on target to Christian Kirk. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. This quarterback now 8 of 15 through the air, but it's 1st and 10 here. They'll drop the throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
On the draw, this is Fournette. Working his way for a gain of 7 to the 26.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. It's complete to Williams. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9 now. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. The big gainer there on the catch and run, 37 yards.
Here we go.
Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game.
And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
Brandon, that's just football 101. If you're out of the pocket, you've got to get rid of the football in this situation. You cannot take a sack in a 2-minute drill.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. They're going to look to throw. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Point after, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? and the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Second and 4. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
We own them. Hey, Alpha.
2nd and 10. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And this will be caught. Well, forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown.
Well, I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to, because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head. But
that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. It's up and good, and they add one more to what will wind up a fairly lopsided victory. So we had action to the very end of this one, the score on the final play that they didn't need to have. They didn't just run out the clock, though. They added to their final total.
Played it all the way to the end, and you know some coaches preach that and tell their teams, that's what I want all the time. And they feel like if they don't do it themselves, they're not living up to the message that they're sending out.
So for the Vikings, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Arizona, their luck may have run out as they fall to 4-7 now on the year. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to L.A. to take on the Rams. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.